Hi! In my card making 101 for beginners, I'm going to demonstrate how to make a cute handmade card with pumpkins using the Stampin' Up! Pick of the Patch stamp set and coordinating Pick of the Patch punch. The Pick of the Patch Builder Punch is pretty cool because we'll be able to punch out a couple of the pumpkins, the stem, and the leaves. I'm Shelley Godby, and for 22 years, I've been teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles through my YouTube videos and my Stamping Smiles blog. So let's have some fun building a pumpkin patch. Here's a closer view of the Pick of the Patch stamp set and coordinating Pick of the Patch Builder Punch. When you order the two of these together using the special bundle item number I've listed right here, you'll save 10% on both. Always look for the bundle discounts to save. All right, so this stamp set, oh, so cute. Love it because I can punch out two of the pumpkins. But look, you can have just pumpkins, or you can put a face on there and turn them into jack-o'-lanterns and happy jack-o'-lanterns. And we've got several greetings, so this doesn't have to be at all just a Halloween stamp set. I think it is adorable. It's all get out. So what we're going to do is start with our card base, and I'm going to use pumpkin pie cardstock. And, well, besides pumpkins, it is also one of the colors in this strip of paper I'll be using from the Them Bones 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. So it's double-sided paper, and so this little strip. But anyway, and so the colors I'm using are coordinating with this. So out of one 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, you get 2 card bases. Isn't that awesome? The most common size. And we're going to go ahead and cut it in half. And what I have here is our paper trimmer. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. I'll put the blades where you can see them at the top. And so I'm going to cut this in half, and this is the 11-inch side. So I need to cut that at 5.5. So we're going to pick this up, the guide, and then I'm going to place this at 5.5. Here's 5, there's 6. That longest line in between is the halfway mark. And I'm going to place my pumpkin pie cardstock on that line, not next to it, butt it up against this lip so it squares it off, and I can follow all the way down and still make sure I'm good and square. And so the paper trimmer has 2 blades. One is for cutting, that dark gray. The lighter gray is for scoring. And I'll explain that in just a moment. So we're going to pull that across, and just like that, we have 2 pumpkin pie card bases. We only need 1, so I'll set that aside. And so now we want to score this in half. And so what that is, what I'm talking about when I say score it, we're going to put a crease in there so when you fold it, it is nice and neat. Without that, it's all crinkly, not attractive. So now this is 8.5 inches by 5.5. We want to score this in half on the long side. So half of 8.5 is 4.25. Here's 4, there's 5. Remember, that long line in between is the halfway mark. So that'd be 4.5. Well, halfway between 4 and 4.5 is 4.25. That's second longest line. So again, we'll place it on there. I've butted up against here. I'm following this line down. It's like it's looking good. And we'll pull the scoring blade across that. I don't have a lot of pressure, so I do a couple times. But then we get that crease. And that is what we're after. So the crease, we're going to fold away from it, right? So it's pushed down, and we'll continue. And then I go ahead and line up those edges. And I have a bone folder. We'll give that a good crisp fold. Fold folders are a really good tool to have. And so now we have our card base. And so the Pick of the Patch stamp set, well, this is a photopolymer. That is the type of material used to create the rubber stamps. And let's go ahead and open this up. And so all of these stamps came on this, between these two. All right, you could leave them on there, or you can do what I did, peel them off and put them on their coordinating underneath. This insert with the name of the stamp set and the pictures will also have these images. So we can just put them right on here. So what I want to do before we get started is we need to put these on some clear mount blocks. And so we use these blocks over and over because these are unmounted and we've got that clear rubber. So you can tell which ones I'm using because the photopolymer stamps, they all start clear like that, but depending on the colors you use, we'll stain them. And I remember the first time I used one of our photopolymer stamp sets, so I was talking with a customer and I said, well, does that upset you that they get stained? And she said, no, now I can find them. I thought, okay. So I'm placing these down. I mean, I could pick it up and put it on here. It would probably be fine. When a stamp coordinates with a die or punch in particular, it's easy to pull out of shape a little bit, say like this curly cube one would be. So I'm just in the habit of placing it down and then taking my mount. So you could use, you want mounts, these clear mount blocks, these acrylic blocks in different sizes, because the smallest you can go, the better. Okay, this one is just, it's clinging to me. The better, because you're not as likely to rock and so, you know, and I've used, these three are all the same size. So I could have used one, took it off, cleaned it, put it away. When you can, you know, because this is for new people, you're going to find that you'll start adding to your, you know, you'll want more. You'll start adding and having more like I do. Okay, I have this one for that long one. There we go. Our tree. This is so cute. And then a small, this is an A for the leaf. And I want to use this greeting. You're the pick of the patch. How cute is that? And so if I'd quick, okay. Then I could also see that it's straight. If I have it straight on here and I go straight down. And then we'll need to pick a greeting for the inside. And I'm not going to do jack-o'-lanterns today. So instead of Happy Halloween, I think I'll pick Thanks so much. And here we go. Thanks so much. And a block. I think I have, oh, I have one more that actually I meant for this. That's okay. After we're done with it, I can put it on the other side. All right. Because I changed my mind. I was going to do Happy Halloween, so that's why I had this long one out. But I've changed my mind and thought, yeah, I think I'll take Thanks so much instead. So now these are all mounted and ready for us to just be able to keep going. We're ready to do some stamping and punching. You know what? This will work perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and put this on here. It's not so oversized, it would be ridiculous at all. So we'll use that after a while. So let's start with punching our pumpkins. So we need to stamp and then punch. That's what's really cool when they coordinate like this with the Stampin' Up! Is because we'll stamp the image and then center it in the punch. Because if we punch this out first and then try to center on that little, you know, pumpkin shape, that wouldn't be so easy. It'd be possible, but let's do it this other way instead. All right, so what I have here is the Pumpkin Pie Classic Stampin' Pad. You're right, Pumpkin Pie was the color of my cardstock base. With Stampin' Up, all the colors coordinate in the different products. So we've got the cardstock, we've got the ink pads and blender pens, which are alcohol markers, and other markers, and then your ribbons and all the bling makes it so appealing. So we're going to pick this up, slide that in. Fantastic. So we'll start with this, I'm going to come over here and just give this little good inking and stamp. So now what I need to do with this builder punch to be able to fit them all on there, they have these going in different directions. Well, this one will work out perfectly the way I want to do this. So I'm going to come in from this side and center that in here. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So you center right around it and then punch. All right. So now this I will want to come in, say like this. That means I need to turn it, right, to come in the right way. So this one was, I'm not mechanically minded at all, so I have to think about these, maybe more than the average person. We're going to use this in just a bit, but not quite yet. So let's go ahead and close it so it doesn't dry. So I pull on that and then click. All right. So we have our Cajun Craze, another one of the colors in this beautiful paper. It is so fall. I just love it. All right, Cajun Craze, one of those. We'll pick this up, slide that in. And while I was talking, I already forgot. Okay, I want to stamp it, right, is what we decided. All right, give that a good inking. This is a solid stamp, so hold it for a little bit extra long because I want it to be nice and deep. Oh, and it is. So let's go push on that, pull on that lip, click. Done with that. All right. So now when I come in from the side, because if I don't think about it, you know, I could be wasting a whole lot of cardstock, but I just want to make this as easy as I can for me and you. So center. So I'm holding this down a little bit so it can help to grab, but of course not all the way. Holding that down a little bit. Okay, oh, that's looking pretty good, huh? Whoops, I said that and then I moved it. And punch. Oh, fantastic. That white all the way around, well, it helps it stand out. It is just a really good look. Okay, so we've got our two pumpkins. Now I have a piece that's a little bit smaller because we have the leaf. Well, I say leaves, it'll punch out the leaves. It punches out one leaf. There are two leaves in this stamp set. The punch does one, but I need two of them. And I'll need two stems as well. So we'll start with the leaf. And let's look how it's on here. Okay, so that's, we can come in from the side. Okay. So we'll do that. And this is Old Olive. I didn't show you. Here we go. Old Olive. That is not in this particular paper, but it's going to look fantastic. Everything doesn't need to be in the paper, but we'll slide that in. And we have, I'm going to say we have our leaf here somewhere. Go ahead and ink this. And stamp. Oh, I did not do a good job. Okay, that happens for me, especially with small stamps. So we'll just turn that over and try that again. And that's the beauty of, and then just take my time and slow down. Why don't we do one at a time? Back with our punch. Slickest thing in the world that we can, you can see that, you know, that we can stamp and then punch it out. I mean, I could try one for you, but I don't think it'd be pretty. Try to stamp after. You know, in a big circle, but not when it needs to be so close. That went flying, but I found it. There we go. All right, so we need another one. So we'll get that out of our way. Slow down. Oh my goodness, I did the same thing. Well, at least I'm consistent. Fantastic. Okay. Get this in here and get ourselves another leaf. Centered around all that. Looking good. And so the strip I have that we're punching, is longer than we need, because if it's just the right size, it'll be uncomfortable. Okay, it would be uncomfortable trying to get it just so in there. You want to be able to have that to maneuver around. Okay, so now the stem. Okay, there's some little pieces. Let's get those out of the way. Let's think about that. Is going to, you could go in from either end, but I'm right-handed. So actually I'm going to stamp it to me what's upside down. So we'll do it like this, so it matches, right? All right, and for that we have the Pecan Pie Classic Stampin' Pad. One stem. Hey, I slowed down and did a good job. Come in here. Now see how easy that is when you stop and think about how it needs to go into the punch. Oh, whoops. Okay, no harm. Getting that bad boy centered. It's a little thing, but it is really nice that we can do these pieces separately and build, I call it a builder, build the image. And go ahead and get that out of our way. And we'll do one more. Good image. And punch this out. Yeah, that's easier doing it. I can see a whole lot better this way. And there we go. So we have all of the pieces that we need punched. And so we've got a little bit more stamping to do, and then put it together. So let's go ahead and build our pumpkins before we stamp some more. So what I have here is Stampin' Seal. It's a little opaque there. Put my finger there. It's going to be a lot easier to put the adhesive on the back of the pumpkin to attach the stem to it than trying to put it on that little, the little stem. So we've got that. And we'll turn these over for the leaves. Oh yeah, that's where we turned it over. There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and cute, however tall or long. We've got that. And then our leaf. I have one going this way, and then we'll do one the other way. Isn't that adorable though? Because if that was one stamp, or one a punch, then it would have been just one big solid whatever color you did. We'll say pumpkin pie, but with all these different, our stem is different, the different stamps and the different on the punch. It is worth it. Just think about how I need to put it in there. The pumpkins are done, so we're ready to do some more stamping. So I have here another piece of basic white cardstock, and I'll have a link to my blog post with this card with all of the measurements to make it easier for you to duplicate. So I want to, remember the tree? I want to start with the tree, and this is how I'm going to help myself for placement. I'm going to bring this strip of pattern paper with Stampin' Up. We call it designer series paper. I'm going to place it where I want it to go. Without any adhesive, I never adhere anything until I'm done stamping, because if I mess up, I can turn it over. If I haven't adhered to everything, it just makes it a lot easier not have to try to pull things apart. And you've seen me mess up. So I have this here, so my tree will be sitting on it and not floating above it or too far below. So we're going to use the Pumpkin Pie Classic Stampin' Pad again. So we'll pick this up, slide that in, and you know what I'm going to do? This pumpkin just to help me with my placement too. Okay, and so we'll ink this. I'm just going straight up and down. you don't want to do the rock and roll. That's really natural. You know, I've always seen them do that at the post office, but they're not on a straight surface either. So we're going to go up and down, so we'll try not to catch any edges. And you know what? I don't want it that quite that far up. This is about where I'd want it. So look, I'm going to hold that. Get out of my, pull it out of the way for a stamp, and then fantastic. Cute, cute, cute. And that is going to look really good. All right, so we are done with the pumpkin pie. A little push, pull, and up. Click. Hear that click? You want to hear that click? All right, and so we want some leaves on the ground, and we remember this little one. So what we're going to do is, this is really cool. You've seen we've stamped with ink pads, right? And we got multiple colors by having different images to build. Well, we can also get multiple colors by using our markers on the stamp. We're going to color the back of it. We're going to color them. And so the Stampin' Right markers, these are all from the Regals, the same collection. And this cap, we're going to put on the other end so it doesn't roll off the table and I have to go hunting for it. And color the stamp, just one leaf. All right, and then I have crushed curry. That's also not one of the colors, but it's a fall color. It'll look fantastic. And this leaf. And then for our last leaf, the Cajun Craze. Now, yep, we use that in one of the pumpkins. All right, so these are water-based markers. So they dry quickly. The ink dries very quickly. And so while I was coloring, you know, they were starting to dry. And I'm sitting here talking. So what we're going to do is huff on it to revitalize the ink. And what I mean by that, remember when you were a kid in the winter when the windows were cold, you could huff on them and they'd fog up and you'd write your name in it? That's what we're doing here. We're going to revitalize that ink with huffing. All right. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to come over here and we'll get that out of my way and stamp. Isn't that fantastic? We've got leaves in different colors. Okay, so we're going to do it again, but we'll use the same colors on the same leaves because then I don't need to clean. We need to clean our stamps when we're done stamping or if we're going to change colors. All right, so now I can do this and close that up. And our crushed curry. Fantastic. And then Cajun Craze. So I will huff again and we'll stamp. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and huff. I'm going to rotate my stamp. I don't want my leaves to be identical because it wouldn't look natural. And look at that. So pretty. Now there are times where you may, be doing a background and want the leaves all to be the same color, but a great option to be able to do that. So we're going to leave that there for a moment because I have another pumpkin to stamp. Grandma always said, you do things in odd numbers. And so, oh, how cute is this? I want this longest pumpkin to go between them. And if I don't do this, this is me, maybe not you, but for me, if I didn't go ahead and place these here, I would have it either floating or down too far. So this is going to help me. And we're back with the pumpkin pie. Open that up. So I would love a third color for my pumpkins. And instead of finding yet another orangey color, I'm going to do what's called stamping off. So I'm going to ink this up. I've got a piece of scrap paper here. I'm going to stamp lightly on there. That removes some of the ink. We're stamping off some of the ink. Okay, and then that's where I want this. And come over here and stamp. So I've got a lighter version of that pumpkin pie, so of course it's going to coordinate beautifully. It's a cool thing to be able to do and to get more colors out of the ink pads you had. Let's come back with our pecan pie. Pick that up. There we go. And this is what's so cool about the clear stamps, because I can, we'll see how well I do, but this way I can build still my image and have two different colors. Very, very, very nice. All right, so now we're ready to start adhering things together and a little bit more stamping. Now for our greeting, you're the pick of the patch. I have Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad. And this is going to look really good with this too. There's some black in that paper, but you know, a greeting is almost always good in black. And let's come over here. I'm looking to see that I'm nice and straight up and down. And oh, that adds a nice touch. You know what, while we have this out, I have another piece of basic white cardstock for the inside of our card. And so we'll go ahead and stamp on here. Thanks so much. And another fun thing to do, let's go ahead and do that. Let's bring back our pumpkin pie. And we'll go ahead and stamp a pumpkin. You could do it next to it. And while we have it out, look what I have here, a basic white envelope. So stamping on an envelope to decorate it is a lot of fun. And so the basic white envelopes fit our cards perfectly, that we cut in half, the 8.5 by 11. And we can go ahead and decorate our envelope too. And with it being that same great material, our images are going to look fantastic, and that does. But that's not quite finished. So let's go ahead and bring back the pumpkin pie. All right. Pads are a little stiffer when they're new. And we'll give this a little stem. Oh, cute, cute, cute. It really looks finished with the stem, doesn't it? Fantastic. So now all of our stamping's done, and we can adhere it all together. Oh, how cute is that? And so here's our pumpkin pie base that we cut earlier. I'm going to go ahead and turn that over so you understand now why I don't ever adhere anything until I'm done, because of that potential. And it happens. It happens. All right, so this stamping on a piece to put inside, two reasons. One, a lot easier to read, right? On the white, instead of trying to stamp right on that pen, you know, and for people to try to read it. So we're going to center that. Just much more attractive. And then I'm going to keep that here because this, I only cut an 1/8 inch smaller. That's not a lot of slack, so we need to be neat. So back again with my Stampin' Seal. And I find about 1 inch in each corner, when things are just nice and flat like this, works really, really well. There are people who like to do the whole perimeter and an X in the center. You know, if that makes you feel better, absolutely, whatever makes you comfortable and happy. There we go. So that's just that little hint of black. And then we can go ahead and put our scene together. And so our Them Bones Designer Series paper. So there's a nice variety of papers in here. And this is cut to go edge to edge. There we go. Fantastic. And now our Cajun Craze pumpkin. All right, I'm not going to press until I'm happy with my placement. Let's bring this up a little bit. There we go. And then for this, we're going to dress it up a little bit just by giving it some height. And we'll do that with these Stampin' Dimensionals. These are foam adhesive dots that just give it a nice little lift. So I'm pressing down with my thumbnail because it makes the edge of that backing pop up. And we want them to overlap, and this way it doesn't cover up our tree. And we've got the pumpkin from peeking out from behind. Oh, that looks oh so good. And so I could just use, again, the Stampin' Seal and put that down straight, but I tell you, the lift that you get from these are just fantastic. And that's going over the edge a little bit, but that's on purpose. So this is a decent sized piece. So let's go ahead and put one in the center too. Oh, the backing came off. All right. And we'll now sometimes that one's already peeling up. Sometimes they come up easily. Oh, and that one's peeling up already. But if not, oh, that's where it went to. I peeled off the backing and not a whole adhesive dot. There we go. Because I thought, how did I do that and not feel it sticky? And we'll center this on here. And there we have our fall handmade card with pumpkins. That is cute, cute, cute. If you'd like to make my handmade fall card with pumpkins, all the supplies are listed below the video and available to order now on my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. And you're invited to subscribe to the Stampers Insider. It's your free source for inspiration, information, and ideas. Just go now to www.thestampersinsider.com to subscribe. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamp smiles. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.